Well, first off, I would like to say Happy Veterans Day, and thanks to all those that have served in our armed forces and those things, and a good day for I know our staff's kids and everyone to have a day off as well to be around family. Hard to believe it's already passed by our bye week, but I would say that I would be remiss if I just did not mention back to our homecoming crowd the support of our fan base and the effort of our players in all three phases, but especially on offense and defense to do what we did and pull together for homecoming and honor the 1990 team, 99 team, and all those things. It was a great day and great moment for our players. It was well earned over a lot of a tough start that has kind of come together with us playing our best football of the season. So, with that being said, we're back to work. We've had a great bye week and had some rest time, and certainly ready to start back to work and get these guys ready to play a great Georgia Southern team on the road, which I know our guys will look forward to getting over there and playing them. So, with that, I'll take questions. Thank you all.
Hey, Gerad, this is Johnny Dustin. I know the Coastal game was more of a run-oriented game on offense, but when you look back at it, how'd you like the way Matthew handled the offense, and what kind of week did he have this past week, just in practice sessions?
Yeah, I think, all games, they all kind of just develop sometimes. Usually, there's a lot of similarities to what you think is going to happen, and sometimes you just don't know. And I think for us, what our staff and players did a fine job of was is understanding as the game developed, we were able to find some things in running the football that allowed us to have a lot of success. And we've all learned in this profession over the years, John, when you have something like that happen and they let you, or if it's something you see, you better do it while you can, because there's too many good football coaches and players out there that don't let you for very long. So I thought it was a good adjustment in keeping two things and having some change ups to our run game. I thought Matt managed those wells. I thought he did a lot better job with his fakes and carrying out fakes to set up some movements and naked throws and those things as well. So he managed it well. The week has been good for everybody. Just continue to take steps in throwing the football and those things as well, which will grow in. But each week's different in game planning. Everybody does something to you, something differently. And then, of course, you've got to predict what are they going to change to attack us and maybe a strength we've shown in running the football or something to adjust to us. So we've got to be ready for both sides of it. And he's had a good week this week.
Hey, Coach Davis Baker from WSFA. Just watching that game last Saturday or Saturday before, you could really see Goose being involved on the sideline, just cheering on Matthew, cheering on Tucker, cheering on whoever it was. What's it been like to still have him there as a leader on the sideline, even if he's not out there playing?
Well, it's huge. His presence matters. I've said that privately, and I'll say it to you, and it's a good observation by you that, his leadership matters still yet, even though he doesn't have a helmet on. He's a team captain, a voted team captain, and the guys certainly know that that's what he is. He does a great job being unselfish. He stands for everything we want our football team and culture to be. He's unselfish. He goes to work and still prepares and is around and as present as he can be in our locker room, in our meeting rooms, and on the field still. And that tells you a lot about who he is. And I know our guys, that breeds confidence from our people around him because that's the kind of teammate he is to serve others. So he's a key piece of it, and it's fun to watch him be that kind of teammate.
Hey, Coach, it's Josh, the Detroit Messenger. Health-wise, how are you guys doing right now?
Yeah, good. We've had a couple small things come up that guys needed to get addressed over the bye week, and not better timing than that. Those guys are healing up from some of those small procedures and just small rest time really well. So for this time of the year, with 9 games in and 3 left, you would knock on wood and say that for where that is, obviously minus Goose's health, we're in a pretty good spot as we could be or expect to be right now, and hopefully that bodes well for the Trojans going down the stretch.
You mentioned obviously the bye week kind of helps those guys that are banged up, but with the momentum you guys were able to build in the last few games, does the bye week come at a good time or a bad time next?
Yeah, I really believe this. I think it's a really good time for us because I want to continue to make sure these guys understand we value their time. So many stops along the way and things you do, you'll get paranoid as a coach and try to fix things all at once when you're addressing things we've had to address, and that's not the right thing to do in my opinion. You can only fix a certain amount of things you still have to value your staff's time and let them get around their families. You got to let your players go home and see their family and friends and not be paranoid about what they're going to do and decisions they're going to make. We've built trust with our players, and our staff to say, we trust you, we're improving. Let's don't reference anything bad. I think sometimes I'll get mad at myself and say, hey, this is our record. Those things are gone right now, Josh, and I think for us, guys are realizing, like, there's a process to this. Be a pro, be the man you want to be, in the future you want to have, and prepare, improve your play. Let's see that product go out on the field, build momentum, be proud of the way we finish, and then let's ride this thing into spring and see where we're at.
Coach, this is Juliana Rookenbaugh, WAKA. You said after the game last week that you noticed a shift with that Arkansas State game. Have you thought any more about what you think maybe caused it, and are you continuing to see that energy in practice?
Yeah, that pulls emotion out of me as soon as you word it that way. To be honest with you, I think that we have begged, pleaded, and pushed, and the guys have reacted to their credit of saying, this is going, I told you all this, like, hey, this is going to flip. Like, Troy's going to go where Troy goes. So why not now? Let's don't wait for something to go. And for some reason, the first half of that Ark State game, which I hate to go back to a little bit, there was nothing about that and how we played and what we did to start that game that was reflective of how they had prepared. So it was almost a demand and a command by me to quit and stop. We're not doing that. And whatever happened. The result didn't finish exactly the way we had wanted it to come home, but guys felt it. We remembered it. We pulled from it, went out and practiced, and found our football team in a different way against Coastal. Now the challenge is we've got to keep it.
Hey, Coach. Tyler White down at WDHN. J.C. French, I think, has been probably one of the better quarterbacks in the Sun Belt this year. How are you challenging your secondary this week to step up and kind of slow down their passing game?
Yeah, he's done a phenomenal job. The great thing he does is he keeps plays alive with his feet, but he also gets the ball out of his hand in a hurry. They do a fine job of him finding completions, drive starter completions, ways to build confidence with wide out and tight end touches, and with himself finding completions to build momentum. That's what they've done a fine job of. So our secondary, but all levels of our defense have got to be prepared to do this because they're going to test you in every phase. Vertically with gadgets and tricks, horizontally with spit out RPOs and screen, and so it's a huge challenge, and he's done a fine job for him. One that I know we've got to prepare tremendously for to go into this game on Saturday afternoon.
Could you also talk a little bit about the performance of their senior running back, Jalen White, this year? Games that he's performed really well. Seems like, they obviously do a lot better as offense.
Yeah, I mean, he's fun to watch on film. I love the way he runs the football. He's been a tough tackle, and like any offense, when you're able to find some momentum running the football and giving it to a guy like him when you get going, it provides momentum. It opens up every piece of your playbook, just makes things easier. And he's proven to be an excellent player in this league and one that's going to be tough for us to challenge ourselves to tackle this week.